So if you watch anime, you should already know that anime and betrayals go hand in hand, just like anime and moms dying. Or non-existent dads. I don't know, they just always have a parent missing. But anyways, today we're going to be talking about anime betrayals that we should have really seen coming. With that being said, let's get into it. So this first one is kind of controversial because some people say they knew from when they seen him. Other people say they didn't know till the end. On the other hand, I knew like midway through the season, a little before midway. I remember knowing definitely before the end. And it's only 12 episodes, so of course I'm talking about Mr. Yashiro from Erased. So in the anime, they make it so obvious that he's the killer, but then they slowly like divert you from thinking that. And it really makes you second guess. So I think that's why a lot of people didn't know for sure, but other people just weren't buying it, so they knew. If you're into investigative type anime or thriller or psychological, you already know. Like from episode 1, I'm gonna be on it along with the pro tag. We're both figuring this out. But let's talk about why we all knew. So first off, he was way too nice. Like it was to the point where it was hard to believe he would be a killer. And then we had that time he told Satoru that he knew that Kyle was being abused at home. And Satoru, rightfully so, was like, well, why didn't you do anything? And this man had the nerve to say he didn't want the other kids to make fun of her. That clearly wasn't a good enough excuse for Satoru or us. But then he does come up with a better one on the spot, bringing up how CPS really just is useless and he's tried multiple times. But at that point, I was like, so which one is it? So right when you do think that's a little weird, the anime does a great job of deterring us away from thinking that, because later on he does get involved with the CPS case. And they actually do get Kyle away from her mom. So we're kind of forced to think, oh, this is a good guy. And yeah, that looks great on paper, but me personally, I couldn't get past the tan coat situation. One night when they're hiding Kyle on the abandoned bus, the man we suspect to be the killer comes in there. And he doesn't know she's there, so out of frustration, he kicks the box because his plans are ruined for the night. But you know what he's wearing? He's wearing a tan coat and gloves. And you know what we see the teacher wearing? In that same episode he's supposed to be so helpful in? A tan coat. I wasn't letting it go. I remember people saying, oh, it's a different shade of tan though. It's nighttime, that's the coat. Yeah, so he was suspicious from there, and it seemed like he had the same type of body shape. After Satoru has been going so hard to make sure she's safe and whatnot, when they hit her in that abandoned bus, why did he ask Satoru where he hid Kyle all this time? Why do you care? Like, it's not making sense. So now he's just extra in the business. Nah, but everyone's suspicions really peaked when the candy fell out of his car. And honestly, I don't even think that's the way he lures like the kids to him, because all his victims are actually pretty smart. I don't think they're falling or that taking candy and getting in a vehicle trick. I really think he might just like candy, and that might be the gag that the anime threw in there. So this next one isn't as built up as the other ones on this list, but it's more like a where's he going with this type of moment before the actual shit happens. So the reason why we're talking about Gin and not Aizen is because when Bleach was airing back to back, I didn't watch it week by week. I watched it later than everybody else. So by the time I watched, it was a well-known fact that Aizen was the main villain, so I didn't get the shock factor. But I remember my dad watching, but yeah, me personally, the Gin one got me by surprise. I only thought he was acting weird when Rengoku was there and he was like fiending to kill her, telling Aizen, I'll go take care of that. Like, okay. Even when he got back from doing what he was doing, Aizen was a little suspicious because as far as he knew, Gin seemed to fuck with her. So he was like, didn't know you had it in you. But Gin then goes into this villainous ass monologue talking about how he's a snake and he has no feelings. And the whole time I'm like, okay, where is he going with this? But then it happened and I'm like, huh? They got me with that one. I was confused. Gin has always been a little shady, but I just thought that was his character. But the reason why it's here on this list is we should have just known once he started talking like this.
I am a snake. My skin and blood are cold. I have no heart. I swallow everything whole. That's the sort of creature I am.
In our next one, just like Mr. Yashiro, I personally just felt like Isabella was a little too sweet. And not saying there's anything wrong with being nice, but when you're overly nice, I start to think you're definitely hiding something. So when she was walking with that little girl Connie to where she was taking her, I honestly just had a bad feeling about it. She started humming some creepy ass song, and even Connie was like, "Mom, what song is that?" And then it just panned out. Now, did I expect all of that? No. And guys, when I watched, The Promised Neverland was still new and I didn't know shit about the show. But that's deadass what they opened with. So that was another one that wasn't built upon, but I kind of just peeped like right before something happened. But one that was built on in the show was Ray. His wasn't a betrayal, more like a plot twist, but I guess we could still talk about it. Now Ray, I did not expect him to be a spy. Like, to me, it really just seemed like he had intelligence from when we met him, so everything, I just marked it up for him being smart. One part that will show it is actually in episode 1, only on a rewatch though. The little girl Connie, when she was about to be shipped away to her quote-unquote new family, he left her a bunny, so Emma sees it, and then Ray is the one who suggests that they didn't leave yet. So Emma and Norman walk to the woods, but my thing is, if you know for a fact that they're not gone yet, how come you don't come along to bring it to her? You know so much. And by this point in the episode, we already see he's not the type to care about the rules, so in retrospect, that was step 1 in him trying to reveal the truth to Norman and Emma. But then after they find out the truth, they reveal it to Ray eventually, and his reaction, I totally just overlooked it as him just being calm, cool, and collected. But no, it was because he already knew. When they tell him, he's perfectly calm and just believes it instantly too. Also, in the same episode, I don't know if it's in the manga, but there's a line Ray says to Emma, and he was like, "You really love Mom, don't you?" And that's another hint that she's not who we think she is, and he knows something. But where we really should have known something was up with him was when he got so mad at Emma for wanting to bring all the kids from the orphanage on their escape plan. Ray's whole deal with Isabella was he would be a spy so long as him, Norman, and Emma got to live to 12 and not be shipped out. But in the meantime, he was already on his shit. Like, he's been planning, but he was only planning for the 3 of them. So that's why he was so upset when Emma said that. And he even told Norman to talk her out of it, because he already had his plan in motion. But Emma's ass is over here talking about bringing babies and shit. Now Sasuke, he is one we should have seen from a mile away. It was quite clear he would do anything to achieve his goal. I just didn't think he would let someone suck on his neck for power. And he was always to himself, you know, characters like that, they're not that far from suspicion for me. I honestly don't even think I really need to go over examples for this one. It was just quite clear. But yeah, he betrays the leaf, of course, going after Itachi. And he let Orochimaru suck him off for power. Itachi would never. You know, it's really crazy. They put a whole recovery team together to get Sasuke back, all for him to basically say, "Fuck you." Like, niggas really almost died and shit. Naruto, he's a great friend, because me, personally, we can't talk about anime betrayals and not talk about this. Of course, I'm talking about the Marlian group and Attack on Titan, Reiner, Bertolt, and Annie. So, you know what's funny? I got spoiled with Bertolt and Reiner, and it still threw me for a loop. But Annie, I wasn't surprised because she looked so much like the female Titan to me. And there was already a discussion about her. And like I said with Sasuke, she's another one who was more to herself. So automatically, you're suspicious now. Nah, but is it just me, or did they make Annie's reveal so damn tensiony, bro? She had me stressed, and I already knew it was her. I was right along with Aaron, like, get the fuck down the stairs. And what made it worse was both sides definitely knew it was up. They both just didn't want to believe it. Now with Reiner and Bertolt, their reveal was the total opposite. Both in the manga and the anime, they make sure to make it as subtle as possible. It's to the point where you gotta rewind and be like, wait, what did he just say? Reiner said in the background of a manga page, and then in the anime, they pull Eren aside, but they don't make it a big deal. Like, the whole scene has multiple conversations going on, and I never seen that done in an anime where a reveal or betrayal is not the main focus of a scene. And for them doing that and it coming out so great, I gotta give them top 5 anime betrayals. Cause yeah, It worked perfectly. I like it so much because it's so different. Like, how do I get shocked from something I already knew was gonna happen? Alright, we all know it's a great betrayal. But the reason they're in this video is because Isayama had the nerve. I just finished rewatching the whole series. Go watch my video on that. And it's laughable how many times he throws it right in her face that these are the traitors. Like, laughable. Like, he puts it right in her face multiple times. So we got the time they all suggest to save the Titan that was helping them out. At the time, no one else knew it was a Titan shifter. They just knew it was an abnormal Titan, which was Eren. Reiner's group, though, they obviously know it's not an abnormal. It's most likely a Titan shifter. So of course they want to see who it is that they're supposed to be capturing. So that's why they say we should save the Titan. Then we got the time Reiner was fiending to know where Eren was in the formation. Luckily, Erwin is smart because he knew there was a traitor, and he told basically everyone different areas Eren should be in. Then when Reiner actually does confirm where Eren is in the formation, coincidentally enough, the female Titan comes, he gets caught in her hand, and he cuts himself out without cutting any of her fingers, even though it showed her popping him like a zit. Upon first watch until later on when Armin brings it up, you wouldn't suspect a thing though. Some people say you could see that he was healing himself because the steam is coming off of him, but I don't think so. I think that's Annie's blood on him that's steaming, because you know that steams too, not just when Titans regenerate. Then we got Reiner again fiending with Connie to go to his hometown and then asking Betrayals if he wants to come too. Then when they get there, Connie thinks one of the Titans look like his mom. I think he would know his mother, and even heard her speak. But Reiner was so quick to say that he was bugging out. And every time Connie brings it up, Reiner gets upset and tells him to let it go. Why are you so mad? I'm the one confused about what happened to my hometown. Then it was that can situation with Ymir, where they could both read the can, and they realized they're both not from Paradise. Damn, maybe it's Reiner really fucking up this mission, because this is all him. That split personality shit was kicking his ass clearly. Annie and Bertolt just stayed to themselves. Annie's fuck up that I remember was her fighting stance, and that's not really a fuck up. And yeah, Bertolt barely spoke, but one of the few times he does decide to speak, he tells a fucked up story on how he was when the Titans first attacked via him and Reiner. But yeah, it was really from the old man they met before they attacked Paradise. And I just thought that was crazy. Like, way to make an impression, huh? So with this one, you guys can actually let me know in the comments if you suspected her at all, because I, for one, didn't. Like, not at all. But there actually is a lot of foreshadowing, like, upon a rewatch. So, of course, I'm talking about Kayano from Assassination Classroom. So, one of the first times we actually see them drop hints is when Shiro walks into the classroom, season 1, and he tells Koro-sensei that he has a class full of promising students. In the dub, he actually says interesting students, so that's even more alarming. But when he says this, he looks at Nagisa, and we're thinking, of course, he's talking about him, that's the main character. And he's not, because you know who was in the back? Kayano. But it doesn't help that a lot of the times in the show, she's always in the background. And sometimes she's not even doing anything, but they make sure to get her in. And you know why they do this? And I meant to mention this on my last entry. A lot of the anime, they like to put the traitors like directly in camera's view when we're talking about them, and you'll only catch it on a rewatch. They did that a lot with Attack on Titan too. I just find it funny when they do that. Like, literally give them weird ass cuts, and it's crazy because we never pick that shit up. They literally be playing in our face. But yeah, if you watch Assassination Classroom right now, you'll see exactly what I mean. The next hint we get is during the pudding episode. Kayano says this really weird line to Koro-sensei about not knowing what other jiggly weapon she has in store, and I don't know how I missed that. And also she says with an assassin, even the close friends can't know your true blade. Then we got the fact that she refused to go in water, and I was over here really thinking she just didn't want to get wet, and I can't swim, so who am I to judge? The final hint we get, and I actually think it's a little more subtle than the other ones, only because how are we supposed to know that she's an actress? So the play episode, I'm just thinking it's, you know, a fun little episode. But no, they're getting us ready to get comfortable with the idea of acting. And this is like her own little episode right before her reveal. But yeah, guys, I don't know if you guys do this, but shows with plot twist, I like to go back and see if there was shit I missed. And usually there is. Like jiggly weapons. Come on now. But yeah, anyways, let me know if you guys want a best betrayals / plot twist type of video next. I really be having so much video concepts in the stash, I just don't be knowing what to give you out first. But with that said, like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. We're on the road to 1K, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.